This is Rugby Merlin and welcome back to the channel. South Africa have been attacking the fringes well, and they suddenly put it out the back door and put it through hands, gets out to the wing, and Wales are caught flat-footed, and a nice try really from Jesse Kriel. Gets the inside pass from MPB, I think, and yeah, that's it. And then Hendrikse gets his the first kick of the game, and South Africa are up 7-0. Good response from Wales. They do some hard running, make some hard yards, and yeah, the referee, who was we'll talk about it a little bit more later, but he was very pedantic at the breakdown, and gives a penalty against South Africa, and it's slotted by Costello, and it's a 7-3. Shaky defence from Wales, and Roos busts through the midfield, almost gets over himself, but scramble defence from Wales, which is pretty good, and Dyer is judged to be offside, and gets a yellow card, and it's very early in the game, and Wales down to 14 men. Questionable decision, I think. I think Dyer couldn't believe in himself. He's a very clean player, and if you look at the replay, he doesn't seem to be offside, maybe slightly, but yeah, anyway, he gets a yellow card for his troubles, and Wales are getting absolutely destroyed at scrum time, and that was a theme throughout the match. South Africa get an attacking line out, and yeah, it's judged to be brought down or infringed upon, and there's another yellow card for Wales. So the absolute worst possible start for the Welsh team. They're down to 13 men playing the world champions within about 10 minutes, 15 minutes, and yeah, it's looking like curtains from Wales early on. The referee actually awards a penalty try, so it's 14-3 now, and yeah, two, I feel, harsh yellow cards. Of course I'm biased, look at the shirt, but what do you guys think? Do you think it was fair, those first two yellow cards? I think it was the referee who got on my bad side straight away from those decisions, and didn't redeem himself throughout the match. I thought he was terrible, actually. So, but again, I know I'm biased, so what do you guys think? It's all a bit stop-start, and South Africa definitely looking rusty. But yeah, Wales almost get over from an intercept from Liam Williams, who played well. He showed his experience, and yeah, he did a good job for Wales. They almost get over, but yeah, South Africa managed to hold Wales out, and Wales has done pretty well with these two-man disadvantage, and yeah, managed to get Dyer back on the field, so they're up to 14 men now. So yeah, not a bad response from Wales, I've got to be honest. I will say that, as I predicted, the front five really struggled against this very powerful South African front five. And I don't like to name particular players and criticize them, but Azarati at prop, I knew he was going to struggle, and he's a bit of a weak link, to be honest. He went off like just before the halftime whistle, and Wales did much better when he was off. So I don't want to criticize him too much, but yeah, I'm not sure he's ready for this level of test match. I will say that one of the areas I picked out in my preview was the back three of South Africa, and how they would play together, because they're very inexperienced. At least two of them were. I will say Fassi, I was really impressed with him. I thought he could have easily had man of the match. His composure under the high ball was exceptional, and I thought he had a fantastic game. I think he could easily push to be in the starting 15 against Ireland, and yeah, it was a breakout game for him. I think just his composure was so good, and he's a nice player, so he's definitely a keeper. And just as I was thinking that, the referee judges that Fassi's intentionally kicked someone in the head, and all of his touch judges and the TMO all tell him, like, no, it's just a rugby thing, like, it was accidental. But he's like, no, I've made my mind up. So, like, why even talk to them? I hate, I don't want to say hate. I didn't respect the referee's decisions in this game. Fassi gets yellow carded, totally ridiculous decision. And he was having such a fantastic game as well, which just rubs salt in the wound. But there you go, I guess. So this pedantic, card-happy referee is definitely going in my book. I'm going to put him in there. And yeah, he's on my, list. Yeah, Fassi didn't deserve a yellow for that, definitely. But on with the game. Wales do take advantage of the yellow card, and Dewi Lake with a captain's try really picks up the scraps from the line out and powers over in the corner. And a nice try. You know, Dewi Lake, you can't fault him for his guts and determination, and I think he put his everything into the game. And yeah, I'm very happy with his performance. Gets a good try and keeps Wales in the match really in this first half. The cardinal sin, something that I hate from Hendrikse, kicking it out on the full from the restart. And yeah, it's definitely giving Wales the advantage. But Wales do go on the attack, and Roos, number 8, who I was rooting for, he played okay. I don't think he cemented his place in the team, but he did a pretty decent job. He seems to knock the ball on deliberately, but it's not given, and it's just a penalty, no yellow card, and I think, given the climate of rugby at the moment, I've seen yellow cards given for much less than that. So I think that was a bit of a let-off for the South African number 8. But yeah, 14-13, unbelievable really, considering the smashing that Wales have had up front. But yeah, they're still in it. Wales do get some change out of the high ball, particularly the cross-field kick when Fassi's off, because he was really dominant in the air when he was on. And yeah, again, referee changing the game. I don't like it, but yeah, they do get some change from it. Doesn't quite stick for them, but they almost get in a couple of times. And Azarati, he's a soft player, and he goes off before halftime, waddles off, and yeah, going into halftime, it's very close. So a summary of the first half, really. I didn't like the referee at all. I thought he was terrible. The Welsh scrum is poor, getting really easily dominated. I think Ox is like kind of giving them a pass at times as well, and I feel sorry for them. A bit of pity almost from the South Africans. Hendrikse, not great. Took a while to settle his nerves. He's doing okay, but not sure if he's going to stay in that number 10 shirt. South Africa generally rusty. The Welsh, playing really to the maximum of their ability. But as per my preview, the second half is going to be very dangerous for Wales now. So let's see if they can, keep the score pretty close and get a couple of tries. So straight away from the halftime kickoff, South Africa obviously seem to be trying to up the tempo. Faf is prominent. He takes a quick tap and he's just trying to get the game going. Nice hands from the South Africans, and it goes out to Mpimpi, who gets over in the corner really early on in the second half for a nice try. But the replay clearly shows that it was a forward pass, and the referee, you can hear him talking to his touch judges or his TMO, whoever he's talking to on the mic, and they're discussing the pass, but it's not sent upstairs for a review, and the try is given. So not a great decision. It was a good try, but if it's a forward pass, so I think the rub of the green was with South Africa a little bit there, but yeah. Wales don't give up though, and keep putting those high balls up, but Fassi is absolutely magnificent, and yeah, fielding the high ball is exceptional. one of the best performances I've seen, really, from an international player. Particularly if it's not his debut, is one of his early caps, and he's definitely a keeper. I would back him to play against Ireland, definitely. Bad news for Wales as Bongi and Malherbe come on. You know what I mean? Off the bench, oof. And Wales have already been struggling in the scrum, but when they come on, the scrum gets instantly destroyed. Wainwright tries to pick up, as any good number 8 will do when you're going backwards, and Faf absolutely missiles him and destroys him. But yeah, it's a bit embarrassing really at scrum time for Wales. Yeah, Hendricks gets a penalty from the scrum and puts it over, and it's 24-13. Wales do go on the attack, and they have an attacking line out, and a nice rolling ball actually. It gets over the line, but it's held up after the referee goes to the TMO. So fair play to Wales. Technically, they're playing quite well in the pack, considering they're up against a much bigger team physically. If that try had been given, they would have been 24-20, but it wasn't to be. So South Africa is still well and truly in the driving seat. Now Sasha comes on for South Africa at number 10, and I think although Hendricks did okay, I think Sasha looks more the part. His kicking was good, and he looks like he really wants to be out there, whereas Hendricks looked a little bit nervous. So let's see who they're going to choose for the island tests, but I think Sasha is more in the running. And Sasha does get his first kick in the Springboks jersey, which is kind of a huge deal, I guess, for him. And yeah, it's 27-13. So yeah, I just liked his composure when he came on. He didn't set the world alight, but he does look the part. Wales have done incredibly well to hold out until about 15 minutes to go, and finally the floodgates do open. Bongi gets a kick, gets a try from a rolling ball. It's kicked by Sasha, and now it's 34-13. So as I worried about this score late in the game is ballooning out. However, despite the scoreline, Wales are not giving up. As a Welshman, I'm pretty proud of their effort physically. South Africa, renowned for their physicality, but I feel like Wales, really were up to kind of trying to match them. Scrum time, they were up against it. I think technically the South Africans are so good at scrummaging. Again, as I mentioned earlier, we had a couple of weak links. But even with this big points deficit, the Welsh team, they do man up, and they have a crack at the South Africans. So it's back and forth in the last 5-10 minutes, and Edwin van der Merwe, he's a latecomer to the Springboks party, and he had a great day today, and it was nice to see him finish off with a great try, bust through the midfield. Shows his pace, and under the posts for a great try, and kind of sealed the deal then for South Africa. Deserved victory, and I think it was 41-13 in the end. Great result for South Africa. Lots to think about in terms of selection for the Irish test. Wales, despite the score, I'm not as disappointed as I thought I would be, because I did catch a glimpse of the score before I watched it on replay, and where I am, it was live very early in the morning, so I had to watch it on a replay. But I wasn't as disappointed as I thought I would be. I thought the Welsh team showed a fair amount of guts, but they, as I titled this video, there are levels to this. Africa's level is way above Wales, right? But Wales, in terms of trying to live with them for the first 60 minutes, really, they were able to put it off. Once South Africa warm up and they're playing the big boys like Ireland, I'm sure they would be a different proposition. But as a Welsh fan, not as disappointed as I thought I would be. South Africa, I think, and Rising got a lot of information about players who he could select for the Irish games, and maybe we'll do a video about that in the future. But yeah, if you've made it this far, thank you very much. Check out the next video, and cheers.